these people make it really difficult to appreciate their work. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 artists whose work we separate from their personal lives.
Some accusing Cosby of drugging or sexually assaulting them.
For this list, we'll be looking at individuals who have contributed significantly to their chosen artistic media, while simultaneously leading private lives that allegedly range from peculiar to downright appalling.
How come for the last 40 years you've never heard stories about me pointing gun in women's mouths?
Number 10, Woody Allen.
I think I'm going to get better as I get older. I think I'm going to be the balding, virile type, as opposed to, say, the distinguished gray.
Woody Allen will always be remembered as a great comedian and filmmaker. In particular, Annie Hall highlighted his gift for screenwriting and telling unique, relatable love stories. Unfortunately, this has been overshadowed by some troubling allegations. Following a 12-year relationship with actress Mia Farrow that was peppered with conflict, it was revealed that Farrow's adopted daughter, Soon-Yi Previn, was having an affair with Woody.
That's what we look like.
I see. Oh, that's what we look like. We should get our money back.
Several years later, the two married, and numerous critics pointed out the incestuous nature of their relationship. Following his breakup with Mia, allegations also surfaced of him sexually abusing their 7-year-old daughter.
I'm saying it's a multi-million-dollar industry that has sprouted up over a total non-event.
The case was eventually dropped, but the controversy surrounding Allen will forever be a black mark on his distinguished career.
Speak up, for Christ's sake. I'm asking if you think my friend is making a tragic mistake.
Number 9, Michael Jackson.
I was thinking about adopting 2 kids from each continent around the world.
Really?
The king of pop blazed a trail of success in the music industry like no other. Labeled by Guinness World Records as the most successful entertainer of all time, Michael's countless awards, larger-than-life persona, and groundbreaking singles have made him more than deserving of this accolade. Sadly, during his later years, Michael's personal life was marred by an ever-changing look and multiple sexual abuse allegations brought on by children. Despite being acquitted, he admitted to sleepovers with young boys and shocked the world during the infamous baby dangling incident. Jackson forever changed the landscape of music, but was also plagued with issues that make it difficult not to look back on his life without some level of concern.
We have guest units, but whenever kids come here, they always want to stay with me.
Number 8, Joan Crawford.
Don't you dare judge me.
As one of the most prominent female stars of Hollywood's classical era, Crawford immortalized herself on the silver screen through her performances as strong female characters in an era when such roles were few and far between.
That was good shooting, Turkey. For a boy.
However, Joan's relationships with her 5 adopted children were hostile at best, and accounts by her children suggested their upbringing was riddled with abuse and neglect.
We protect our families. We don't go out on the street or on radio or television and say, one of my daughters is this, one of my daughters is that, and what a problem I'm having. Who cares?
Christina Crawford released a book in 1978 detailing the mental and physical abuse that allegedly took place at Joan's hand.
What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I see things that just couldn't be real?
Which included withholding food and even strapping her son to his bed to prevent him from sleepwalking. While Crawford will always be associated with silver screen successes like Mildred Pierce,
Vita, I think I'm really seeing you for the first time in my life, and you're cheap and horrible.
she'll also be associated with wire hangers.
Dispatch from wire hangers.
Number 7, R. Kelly.
I used to think that I could not go on.
R. Kelly's musical career included massively successful R&B hits, such as I Believe I Can Fly.
I believe I can fly. Woo. I believe I can touch the sky.
And the hip-opera chef-d'oeuvre Trapped in a Closet.
Shit, think, shit, quick, put me in the closet.
We imagine these hits will remain on numerous Spotify playlists for years to come. But to borrow a prophetic phrase from the late R&B singer Aaliyah, age ain't nothing but a number. R. Kelly caught the public's attention through his illegal marriage to Aaliyah when she was 15 years old, and later after a video surfaced that showed Kelly allegedly urinating on an underage girl.
Why they say it's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen.
While Kelly was found not guilty on all counts, being wrapped up in the disturbing trend involving celebrity engagement with a minor caught the public's attention, and for some, overshadowed a formidable career.
It's the freaking weekend, baby, I'm about to have me some fun. Come on.
Number 6. Richard Wagner.
Listen to me, damn you! Damn you! Listen to me! I'm Wagner!
One significant aspect of Wagner's work was his unusual ability to write both the music and the libretto, or musical text of his operas. His effect on music, literature, and philosophy is still prominent today, and historians have even suggested that his work marked the beginning of modern classical music. There's also enormous controversy surrounding him that suggests he may have been actively anti-Semitic, even going as far as to state that Western society's downfall would be the mixing of different racial groups. To make matters worse, Hitler proclaimed Wagner a prominent symbol of the Nazi era, forever linking his work to their fascist regime, which is indeed a difficult image to shake. Number 5. Sean Penn.
Listen, there's no point in arguing about this. I have to do this. I'm asking for your help.
Penn's controversies are far more ambiguous than most on our list, but they still understandably infuriate many. He's one of Hollywood's finest actors, and his directing career has produced some extraordinary work too.
In the wild. Yes.
He's also a staunch political activist, and many of his political crusades are regarded negatively by those on both the right and the left.
A military option is always perceived, very dangerously perceived, as a winnable military option.
Notably, his 2016 secret interview with Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman resulted in an outcry from both the US and Mexico.
And the first question everyone asked was, wait, which one is the fugitive?
It was seen as an insult to journalism and a dangerous and selfish stunt. Penn continues to deliver brazen political ideologies in a very public fashion, sometimes making it difficult to separate his activism from his work on the silver screen.
He said my daughter in there! He said my daughter in there!
Number 4. Chris Brown.
I never ever had problems with anger, no domestic violence with any of my past girlfriends. I never was that kind of person.
A lot of entries on our list have been softened by the use of the word allegedly, but no such cushion can be given out for Brown's case of domestic violence. He developed an audience in the early 2000s, with multiple songs topping the Billboard Hot 100. In 2009, however, an argument with then-girlfriend Rihanna resulted in physical violence and notable facial wounds for the female singer-songwriter.
This happened to me, and it can happen to anybody.
Brown eventually pleaded guilty to felony assault, but his reputation was forever tarnished due to the shocking acts of violence he committed. Unfortunately, Brown's reputation led him to be accused of assaulting a woman with a firearm inside his home in 2016, just making things worse.
And then that's when Chris kind of went off and said, what did I tell you, girls? I've been telling you over and over again. And then he pulled out the gun and he said, get the F out of here.
Number 3, Phil Spector.
I mean, he was at the top of the game. There was no reason. So that told me something was wrong.
Spector's work with artists like John Lennon and the Ramones will be remembered for decades to come. He's been named the second greatest record producer of all time by the Washington Times. Under any other circumstance, his impressive portfolio of music would undoubtedly be his legacy. But in 2003, Spector shocked the world when Lana Clarkson was found dead in his mansion, resulting in a sentence of 19 years to life for the producer.
Nobody knows what her condition was, alive or dead.
Resulting in a sentence of 19 years to life for the producer. These horrifying events even inspired a film starring Al Pacino as Spector, and forever associated the talented musician and producer with a horrific crime.
Why'd you have so many guns?
I might need one.
How would you need more than one?
I don't know.
Number 2, Bill Cosby. Few celebrities have experienced as massive a fall from grace as this on-screen family man. His career took off in the 60s with I Spy, soared higher in the 70s with the animated television show Fat Albert.
Come on, Hal. Bottoms up.
And reached its apex in the late 80s and 90s with The Cosby Show, a sitcom following an affluent African-American family's humorous home life. His show highlighted family values, and his stand-up act was remarkably clean for the time. So it's understandably shocking that Bill has been on the receiving end of over 50 rape and sexual abuse accusations.
I have been in this business 52 years, and I've never seen anything like this.
Which eventually caught the public's eye after a remark made by comedian Hannibal Buress went viral in 2014.
You're the one that spoke about Bill, and it snowballed and it really put a crimp in his dating life.
No honorable mentions this time around. Number 1, Roman Polanski.
You have to call it a tragedy, and therefore you can't end it with happy ending.
Among his impressive body of work, Polanski directed Chinatown, which is often regarded as one of the best films ever made.
See, Mr. Gibbs, either you bring the water to L.A., or you bring L.A. to the water.
This neo-noir masterpiece is one of many produced by the director in the last 6 decades. However, since 1977, he's been wanted by U.S. authorities. After being accused of raping a 13-year-old girl, Polanski pled guilty and fled the United States when he realized things weren't going to turn out well for him.
The district attorney in LA says until he's back in court, there won't be any justice.
And while he's continued to produce brilliant work ever since, the U.S. has continued to request his extradition, making Polanski a bizarre example of an artist whose work we may enjoy, but whose personal life we may not.
You know what happens to nosy fellows? Huh? No? Wanna guess? Huh? No? Okay. They lose their noses.
Do you agree with our list? Which artist's personal life makes it difficult for you to enjoy their work?
It's me. You've seen me in those films. I'm the guy.
For more controversial top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Yeah. Need to offer me to. That's a lot.